Have you ever been in a situation where there's someone you really like and they start opening up about their past, and maybe it's something emotional, maybe it's something painful that they've endured, and you didn't know how to respond, you didn't know what to say or what to ask in that moment, but you knew that was a critical moment because they're opening up, they're vulnerable. It's those vulnerable moments that can take the relationship either so much deeper if they're handled well, but if they're not handled well, they also have the ability to pull you apart. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 beautiful practices for how to respond in a moment when your man is opening up emotionally about his past that will bond the two of you together. Check it out. Hey there, my name is Matt Boggs, and I'm the founder of the Love and Relationships Division of the Brave Thinking Institute, where our mission is empowering people to create and live a life they love. And that includes your love life. So if you like this video, I encourage you to click that subscribe button, click that little bell, because every week we bring you new videos to empower you in your love life. So what do you do with these precious moments, these vulnerable moments, these open moments when the person you like, they're opening up to you and they're sharing about something intense that happened, or maybe something painful that happened, or abuse they went through, or something that they feel really sad about from their past. They're opening up. How do you handle that moment? Well, the University of British Columbia did a great research study, and they found 3 things that people do that push people away. And so I'm going to share with you what those 3 things are, but even better yet, share with you the opposite strategy for how to bond the two of you together in this moment. So mistake number 1 is called deflecting. And deflecting is where someone opens up emotionally about something that they went through. Maybe someone lost their job, or they got injured, or it was something painful that happened for them. You know, for me, I remember opening up to my girlfriend and talking about blowing out my knee and not being able to play football again. And how it broke my heart because I identified as a football player. I was in love with football, and it was so hard. And how she responded in that moment was beautiful. She didn't deflect. What deflecting is if she were to take that moment and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And you know what? Now this new movie opened up. It's the new Batman movie, and I know you love Batman. Let's go see that." Or she said, "Hey, this new brewery opened up, and I know you love IPAs. Let's go get some beers over there." And while that attempt is to change the subject towards something that I like in an effort to try to make me feel better, what actually happens is the person who's sharing feels worse. Because while that person's just opened up and shared something vulnerable, they don't feel it was received. The person wasn't really with them. Instead, they're just trying to cheer the person up. So that's the wrong thing to do, is deflect. The best thing to do is to just be present. To be present. One of the most therapeutic, healing things we can do for another human being is to be present with them in their pain. But it's also one of the hardest things for us to do because we care about that person. We want to see them happier. It's so easy to want to try to fix the problem, right? We want to try to solve it and get them out of that pain. But the fastest way out of that pain is to actually go deeper in the pain with them and just be present and hold space with them. Hear them, listen to them, and be present. So that's step number 1. The second mistake is diminishing or dismissing altogether. And here's what diminishing or dismissing looks like. Let's say someone says that they lost their job. Diminishing is trying to help them see the silver lining. It's trying to help them see the positive, or trying to help them see, well, it's not as bad as it could be, right? That's one of the ways that people try to help people feel better and say, well, I know you lost your job, or I know you didn't get the promotion, but at least you're making more money than most people are making right now. That doesn't make the person feel any better. I know you didn't get the promotion, but look at this beautiful house that you're living in. Or I know you didn't get the promotion, but you know what? At least you have a job. You should be really grateful because so many people don't have work right now. That does not make the person feel any better. In fact, oftentimes it will push them away and help them feel worse. And so instead of diminishing or dismissing altogether, is really what that communicates is the person shouldn't feel the way they're feeling. You want to honor someone, you want to bond with them, acknowledge how they're feeling. And here's how you do it. Instead of saying that they should be grateful for what they do have, just acknowledge the pain as it is. And here are some phrases that can help you acknowledge their pain. You can say things like, "Wow, that must be really hard." Or, "I'm really sorry you're having to go through this." Or, "I imagine that's really painful." Or, "I would feel the same way if I was going through something like that." Those are great phrases where you're literally jumping in the puddle with them and you're acknowledging the pain they're feeling. That helps them feel validated, it helps them feel heard, it helps them feel your presence and that you're with them. This is incredibly healing because it helps him feel validated and it helps him feel that you understand his pain and that he's not alone, and that in and of itself is very healing. And the third D for what not to do when someone's opening up emotionally is dishing out unsolicited advice and telling your own stories about how you went through the same thing. So there was a moment where I was sharing with a friend the pain of losing my grandmother, because I was very close to my grandmother. And I remember my friend saying, well, I never knew my grandparents, and going on about a big story how they never even had grandparents and this big thing about that. And I remember thinking to myself, so are you saying I shouldn't feel bad about losing my grandmother because at least I had her for a period of time? And I can tell you what it didn't do. Their response didn't bond me to them. It didn't help me actually through the pain that I was experiencing. Or if someone said, hey, you know what you should do? You should really do some forgiveness work or some healing and bereavement work, and that will help you feel better. Unsolicited advice can very often feel condescending, like we don't know what it is that we need to do. Often the person knows what they need to do, it's just they're going through the emotion of it. So instead of offering unsolicited advice or telling your own stories, instead be present with them, acknowledge their pain, and then step number 3 is to ask an empathetic question. And here's a phrase that you can use that's really, really powerful. You can say, I'm sorry that you're going through this pain. Is there anything I can do to help? Just that in and of itself feels beautiful to your man. And so here's how you can remember this, is if your man's opening up emotionally about his past, have his back, B-A-Q, his back, which is be present with him, acknowledge his pain, and ask an empathetic question. The Q is question, which is, I'm sorry you're going through this. Is there anything I can do to help? When you do that, your man's going to feel supported. He'll feel more willing to open up even deeper, and you're going to help him actually move through that pain and move into healing even faster. It's really, really powerful. And my question to you is, what have you found to be helpful when your man is opening up about his past? Go ahead and share those tips in the comment section below. I hope this serves you. I appreciate you. Here's to your amazing love story. I look forward to seeing you soon.